Good afternoon. I'm Beatrice Reyna with your Panhandle Roundup edition for Friday, May 3rd, 2024. A Gering man is behind bars after pulling a gun on two women and assaulting them. 23-year-old Glenn Walker is charged with felon in possession of a firearm, use of a firearm to commit a felony, and terroristic threats. Police say the disturbance happened at Walker's ex's apartment when he pulled a gun from one of the female's bag and began pointing it. Walker was found hiding in a closet after returning back to the apartment. And happening today, it's the last day to register to vote for the primary on May 14th in Nebraska. It's also the deadline to request an early voting ballot to be mailed. The election commissioner's office is open until 6 p.m. and you can find more information on how to register online by going to our website. In other news, a statewide survey found that 80% of Nebraskans believe state lawmakers should support child care and early learning programs. According to the Nebraska Examiner, the survey reveals a bulk of people, including parents and non-parents, advocating for using part of the budget to improve services. Currently, 91% of Nebraska counties with child care facilities cannot meet demand, and 11 counties lack licensed child care facilities. And while thousands of runners have been preparing and training for the 47th annual Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon, local law enforcement agencies and race organizers have also been doing the same. Sunday's race is slated to have more than 6,000 runners and walkers hitting the streets of Lincoln. LPD says that they'll have officers set up around the course managing traffic and crowds, and there will also be medical aid stations roughly every mile and a half for fans and spectators. And speaking of the roads, there will also be numerous road or lane closures around the route, which you can see on your screen. For a full closure of this list, you can visit our website. In Omaha, deputies are on patrol and soon will get some help from the Nebraska National Guard. Joe Harris reports.
You know, what you're seeing here in these piles of rubble is people's lives.
Damaged homes clearly show where Friday's tornadoes hit. And Douglas County Sheriff Aaron Hansen says they're a magnet for thieves.
Just kicking people when they're down, it's wrong. Not only these people with impacted homes, but most of these contractors we're seeing, they're small business owners.
Even before the storms, areas like this one near 204th and Kansas Avenue already had contractors working on development. Now, Hansen says, even more are here to work on storm recovery, increasing the number of potential targets for thieves to get tools and high-value equipment.
We're going to need to really be on our game to make sure that the criminal element does not come down here and victimize these people further.
He says anyone caught trespassing in a storm-impacted spot will not simply be cited. They'll be going to jail.
You're going to get booked. You're going to have to bond out.
Authorities have already caught a few people they say were trying to commit theft in the storm-impacted areas. Most recently, sheriff's deputies say they caught felony fugitive Jovan Jacinto around a Bennington area storage garage that burglars often target. Hansen feels his office has been fortunate that it's been able to stop crooks so far.
We've been sending the message out. I think the message has been received. That's why we have not seen a huge influx of thieves yet. But we know the potential is growing every day that goes along.
When 6 News last reported, Governor Jim Pillen was going to deploy 24 Nebraska National Guard troops to help the sheriff's office and state patrol watch the areas.
That number has been in flux. I know that they were looking at bringing some National Guardsmen in from as far away as Scotts Bluff.
He says on Thursday afternoon those troops were being briefed on the effort and that they'll be in action later Thursday night. On your side, Joe Harris, 6 News.
And the power of severe weather to affect lives can only be matched by our power to help our neighbors recover and rebuild. News 2 has teamed up with the Salvation Army to make a difference for those who are impacted by the Arbor Day tornado outbreak. If you would like to make a donation, you can head over to our website. Every donation will go toward victims in Nebraska and Iowa. And here's Andre with the Checkagir weather.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. And we are seeing those partly to mostly cloudy conditions here across the Panhandle at this time, with a little bit of shower activity occurring between Gordon and Sharon, and this is going to continue over the next couple of hours here, and then we're going to be seeing some storm development as we get around the afternoon and evening hours. None of these storms are expected to be severe, but we will continue to keep you posted. And looking at our current temperatures right now, our temperatures are in the blend for the most part in the 50s and the 60s. Exception there in Gordon and Chadron, where they are seeing that rain-cooled air, which they are in the 40s at this time, being 45 degrees in both spots. And during the day today, we will see those temperatures kind of remain in the 50s and 60s for the most part, exception in the northern tier counties where they will remain in the 40s. But once we get into tonight, we will see those temperatures drop on down into the 20s. So it's going to be feeling a little chilly overnight tonight with those storms coming to an end around 5 and 6 o'clock. And now with sports with our very own John Clanton.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. The Scottsbluff boys and girls soccer teams in district finals action this weekend. Both one win away from a trip to the state tournament. The Scottsbluff girls, they will be on the road and in Bennington Saturday, taking on the 4-seed Bennington in the B4 district finals. That contest set to start at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Meanwhile, the Scottsbluff boys soccer team, they will be in Omaha as they will be taking on Omaha Scott Catholic on Saturday. That contest set to start at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Good luck to both the Scottsbluff boys and girls soccer teams as they're in district finals action. That's all for sports from the Sports Desk. Everyone have a great weekend and see ya.
And that's all we have for now. Remember to join us weekdays for the Panhandle Roundup, covering the stories in the Panhandle that matter to you. Have a great day and a great weekend.